Any other objections, questions, obstacles to getting somebody across the finish line? Okay, awesome. Yesterday, and I'm waiting because I think we're waiting on Sam and Natalia. Are they?
They're on here.
Oh, they
We're
are.
here.
Okay. Oh, well, that's because I can't see them. I got too many people on my screen. I can't see you all.
We made it.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, we're good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great.
Awesome.
Next I wanted to dive into some other things, just following up from yesterday, right? We dove into the Dream 100 yesterday. What happens when I don't have the hot buyer standing in front of me right now, or I don't have the hot buyer I'm trying to close right now? Let's say you're like Ashley and you've just been slaying it one after another, and everybody that walks in is like, who do I make the check out to? Because she keeps doing that. And you get to the end of signing like multiple deals or whatever, like she just did, and now it's like, I don't have the next one ready to buy today, right? What do we do then? Well, that's where the Dream 100 comes in, right? The Dream 100 is there are realtors all around us. You know, if I'm in Springfield, there's like 8,000 licensed realtors in Springfield area, right? If I'm in Valparaiso, I probably got 20,000 because Chicagoland area, right? So I've got lots of licensed realtors around me that are, out there that could potentially bring me a buyer. And maybe they don't have a buyer at this very moment, but they do have a buyer. Maybe I'm Ty and I have, I don't know how many, because it's a little smaller town. But you've got a lot of people that are out there that could potentially bring you that next buyer. So the way I go about finding that next one is by reaching out to all of them, because I don't know when the next person I'm going to talk to is a brand new realtor that's going to be the rising star this year, that's going to kill it and do $20 million in business in the next year. Sometimes people relocate from out of state who are rock star realtors, and they just got their license yesterday in your state, or in your area, but they're very, very good at it, and they're going to be great. There's also a young lady here in Tulsa who, she came out of nowhere and had really not done it before and lit the world on fire. Sprick Realty did that here in Tulsa a few years back, where it was like, all of a sudden she's a new realtor. Next thing you know, she's like in the very top, like top 5 in the whole city, because she was just a rising star waiting to take off, right? So you don't know when those are going to happen. You also, there's the ones who have been around forever too. So we want to reach out to them, and we want to make them a referral source. Let me explain the mentality you need to have is, a customer is one sale, right? I usually sell a home to an individual who's looking to move into it. I usually sell them one home. There's occasions when you'll sell multiple, but most of the time a customer is one sale. So I will say it this way, a relationship with a customer is one sale. Now, let's take that and flip it for a moment to a realtor. A realtor, whoops, I just took the wrong word. A relationship with a realtor is how many sales, right? I can tell you that Monica Castillo, probably somewhere between 150 and 200 deals that we did with her. Around 150 to 200 buyers she brought us. Now that's over like 10 years, but like she was like, that relationship is worth 150 to 200, but maybe it's a few a year. It's a lot more than one deal, is my point. If you do it right, if you don't screw it up when you do the first deal with them, right? I've also had realtors that I completely butchered the whole deal, and I ruined a relationship. So there are also realtors that I did a deal with one time because I reached out to them. Dana, I can't remember her last name. I probably shouldn't say it anyways, but I did this one deal with this lady named Dana. And like before we even signed the contract, I was like, maybe I don't really want to ever do business with this lady. And by the time the customers moved into the home, I had blocked her number and told everybody in the company, you're never allowed to do if she brings the client, our answer is no. So, I mean, there's a few of those out there. I only have one story about somebody like that, but there are some of those, right? So, most of the time, though, if you build that relationship, it becomes a repeating deal kind of a scenario if they're a producer. So I want to go after those people. Steve, I don't know if you're available to make comment here because I know you've done more of this than probably anybody on here. But Steve gets a lot of referral business from realtors, and that has been a thing. So he is the person who has worked what we call Dream 100 more than anybody I've ever known. So let's define the Dream 100. Who knows what the Dream 100 is?
I do.
What is it, Brady?
The Dream 100 is creating relationships with realtors in the community and reaching out to them to set appointments and build client base.
Yep. Where did it come from?
From Aaron's magical ways of selling.
Good guess, but I am not the creator of this idea. It actually comes from a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine. Anybody ever heard of this book? This is a great book to read if you have not read it. Ultimate Sales Machine. Boom, Chet Holmes, the late great Chet Holmes. Awesome book. I'll put a link to it here so you guys can check it out if you want to. Maybe I won't put that link because that didn't work. Let's try that again. Wow. Okay, it does not like that for some reason. Here's the Audible link.
Welcome to Audible.
Great book, really good book. Comes from The Ultimate Sales Machine. So Chet Holmes decided he wanted to go get certain companies to do business with them, and they were the biggest fish in the pond, right? They're like the giants of his industry, and he wanted to get them to do business with him. So, but who is he? They don't know who he is. So what he did is he decided he was going to find out what they're interested in and start going after them and creating connections. So let me tell you the story of Steve Currington. Steve isn't even on here. I don't see him on here right now, but I'm going to talk about him for a minute. So Steve is a lender in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he wanted to do business with the biggest builders in our state. And so he decided to come after Shaw Homes, which, I was at Shaw Homes. So he started coming after me. And so Steve reached out to me for 3.5 years. What? 3.5 years, Aaron? Yes, 3.5 years before I ever said yes to him to do a loan. 3.5 years. That is relentless pursuit. So what happened was he came into our office and the receptionist is up front and he's like, hey, my name's Steve Currington and I would like to do mortgages with you guys. Do you guys have any preferred lenders? And the lady up front was like, yeah, we're all set. Thanks. It was like, rejected, totally rejected. So he got turned down. That happens. And so then he was like, okay, well, I'm going to come back next week. And he came back the next week. How about now? Are you looking for a lender? No, get out. The next week, no, get out. The next week, no, get out. He kept doing it over and over and over and over again. After a little while, he started getting very creative, and he started doing things like, for example, he found out that the lady who's at the front desk, she really likes lip gloss, and she really likes Warheads, like the super tart candies, that make you pucker up. And so he signed her up for the Lip Gloss of the Month Club. And he would bring in a lip gloss every month to her and drop it off to her, courtesy of Steve Currington, along with a business card. And every time he came in every week, he would bring her a packet of the little Warheads sour candies and hand those to her. What do you think she did when he did this every week and every month? She started
Got a restraining order?
That could have happened, but no. She started warming up to him and started going, he's kind of a nice guy. I kind of like this guy. Then he asked her, once she warmed up, he said, hey, by the way, what is Mr. Shaw like? What's he into? And she's like, oh, he's a golfing fanatic. And he's like, okay, can you find out what his favorite golf ball is? And so she found out, I forget what it is, but so she found out and she told Steve. And so Steve went out and bought I don't even know how many of these golf balls, like a gigantic box of the sleeves of 3 in a sleeve golf balls of the kind that's his favorite. And he got them custom made with the Shaw Homes logo on it, and the Shaw Homes logo. And then it said, Shaw Homes loves Steve Currington on every golf ball.